Welcome to Journaling with Nature, the podcast for those who want to turn curiosity into wonder, a pencil sketch into a rabbit hole of discovery, a moment of stillness into a life full of joy. I'm your host, Bethan Burton. Let's open the pages of our nature journals and explore this world together. Hello, this is episode 142. I hope you're doing well. Here in Australia, it's almost the end of the summer holidays and schools will be going back in 1 week. Work is starting again. People are slowly getting into the rhythm of the new year. And here in Brisbane and in other places, it has been non-stop raining. Everything is green and growing and it feels like we're living in a rainforest. The grass is really long. The rain is dripping off the trees. I have a lot of houseplants in my home, and in this weather I love to put them all outside to get a good soaking, and they seem to love the rainwater more than the tap water for whatever reason, but then I bring them inside and they're all lush and happy. I wonder what nature's doing where you live. Are you surrounded by rain too? Or maybe you're in the northern hemisphere where you are seeing snow or having cold weather. I really love thinking about you out there, wherever you live, with nature changing as each season changes. Today's episode is a prompt episode, and I'm going to say what the prompt is, and then I'm going to tell you a story about how my life has changed a lot in the past couple of weeks. So our prompt is to sketch your pets. Up until a couple of weeks ago, I didn't have any pets. I live in a big house with my whole family. There's 11 people living here in 4 living spaces on the same property. My sister and her children and her partner live here, and they have 2 dogs, and the family has a flock of chickens, and we are just a miniature horse here. So there's animals about, but none of these animals belong to me or are directly my responsibility. And I've sketched the chickens a bunch of times, but I've never sketched the dogs, and I haven't sketched the horse yet. So my son recently told us that he really needed a pet. His father right away vetoed a dog because we had a bad experience in the past that was incredibly stressful and ruled out having a dog again. A cat was ruled out because we have no way to contain the cat, and outside cats kill too many lovely creatures. So my boy suggested a guinea pig. Now, I remember having guinea pigs as a child and I was open to it, but I was a bit worried about taking on something extra when life is already so full. So I wrote a message to the forum of my son's school to ask other parents what their experiences were like before I dove in and got a guinea pig. So many of them said that guinea pigs were a huge amount of work for not much reward because they don't snuggle in the same way that dogs do. And one family was going on holidays and they offered that we pet sit their guinea pig while they were away to see if we enjoyed the experience. So that's what we did. We got this gorgeous piggy called Peanut and we adored him straight away. Right from the start, he was part of the family. And yeah, it was quite a lot of cleaning, but the reward was worth it for the joy that it brought my son and that it brought me. And I started loving him just as much. So then another friend said that they had a single guinea pig that needed a new home, and we decided to take him permanently. And his name is Caramello. Caramello was kind of depressed. He was staying in his hidey tunnel all day, and he was coming out just to take a bit of food and go back in and hide. So then, and this is something that I didn't know or that's changed since I was a kid when people just kind of had their guinea pigs in a little hutch out the back. Guinea pigs now are mostly kept indoors and you take them outside to have some time in the grass each day. Caramello came with an outdoor cage, but he was really sad, and so we brought him inside into a temporary enclosure in my living room. And we still had little Peanut, but Peanut and Caramello weren't friends, so he was in an enclosure in my son's playroom. But because of the rain, all the ants are coming inside and they were going into his enclosure. So I brought that guinea pig into my living room as well. So I suddenly had a house full of piggies and I was absolutely besotted with them. I was talking to them in the morning and waking up and getting them fresh veggies and even sitting with them when I have my coffee in the morning. And I've become kind of crazy about guinea pigs. So then the story goes on. We returned Peanut to our friend when they came back from holidays. And poor little Caramello was still alone and needed a buddy. So we've since adopted 2 girls, a mum and her baby, who are called Pocket and Rocket, and they are utterly adorable. And my nephew has expanded the enclosure so that it now fills most of the space in my living room. And I'm working so hard each day to keep it all clean while we wait for the delivery of their pen that we've ordered online, and I think maybe it's been held up because of all this rainy weather. I'm not sure, but we're still waiting. So all that to say that I've become what my son calls a piggy person, and we sit with the piggies and we watch them, and we are just so full of joy at their play and their silly behavior and the snuggles. They do actually snuggle quite a bit. And yesterday, he and I spent time sketching our little babies, and it was a wonderful thing to do. And although guinea pigs can be pretty quick and hard to sketch as they dart from one part of the pen to another, I was able to sketch them while they were eating and moving about. So if you follow me on social media, this will explain if there's a sudden influx of photos and sketches of guinea pigs there. I plan to make this sketching with my son part of our routine because he really enjoyed it and it helped us feel close to our pets, and it was just so joyful. Do you have pets? Have you tried sketching them? Pets are an amazing way to feel close to nature, I think. Even with domestic animals, you can touch something wild about nature. I don't think guinea pigs actually exist in the wild, but their ancestors or their relatives would have had the same instinct, the same need to hide and feel safe and to forage and play. I would really love to see the sketches of your pets. If you post on social media using the hashtag journalingwithnature or tag me directly, I'll be able to see them. If you have animals in your life, I would love to know the stories about them and see your nature journal pages if you've sketched them before, and if not, I encourage you to give it a go. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week.